when you hear Tony Romo and you hear back, it's problematic.
It's not the first time.
It's not the first time. Take us through what this injury looks like.
I think it's really helpful for people to see the anatomy, because you hear L1 compression fracture and you wonder what exactly is that. We're looking at the spine sort of from an angle. So here's the pelvis and the lumbar, that's where you get the L. There are 5. And if you go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, that is the vertebrae that's injured for Tony Romo. Now, these are really thick right in the middle. It's called the body of the vertebrae, and they're built to withstand load, especially down low. But if you saw that hit that Romo took, he was going into a slide, and then Cliff Averill came across the top and kind of landed on top of him and bent him forward. Compression and forward bending are the riskiest things for that bone, and that's how he ends up with a fracture there.
Well, let me ask you this. Understanding that this is very early in the process, we've heard 6 to 10 weeks as a reasonable timeline for Romo's return. Is that reasonable? What would you expect?
Well, when you think of bone healing, 6 weeks is about what it takes for a fracture to heal. But if this fracture is stable, if it's a minor crack and there's no instability, it really is symptom dependent, meaning once he feels good and good enough to walk around, move around, start to do some more activity, he can start to get back to that. As long as the medical staff has decided that there's very low risk of any neurological injury, then he could be cleared to return potentially sooner. But also, it could take longer. We know people heal at different rates. And I think the thing to remember in Romo's case is, we said this is not his first injury. Last time he fractured 2 transverse processes. Those are the things on the side of the vertebrae out here. They're not right in the center. So it's much easier to come back and play when you're recovering from that injury. This is a little more difficult.